Hi and welcome again to Replica Airguns. Today we're going to take a look at the EKOL Jackal Dual. And if you haven't seen my other EKOL videos, make sure to check out the links that I'm going to put in right now. And one of those links is an overview of the Jackal Dual, the Dickel, and the Volga. I also have another full review on the Volga, and I hope to soon have another video review on the Dickel. So let's get started. This is the EKOL Jackal Dual, and let's get right into some of the specifications. It's a 9mm P.A.K blank gun. This is semi and full auto. This gun has a 15 round magazine, so you can have 15 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. It weighs a whopping 2.5 pounds, so it's a nice full-size hefty gun. It's front firing, and you can see here it comes with the flare adapter, so it's a front firing gun. This particular model is the black finish, so really it's actually a glossy black. Although it's just stated as black, it's more of a glossy black. And this is a single action only pistol. Let's quickly go over what's in the box. Of course you can see, we have the standard EKOL box here. It's foam lined. You get your manual. There's not a whole lot of information inside of here. Really not much to go on, just basically a schematic list here. That's about it. When I did my fume video, I thought that maybe the actual cleaning rod was missing, but I'm noticing that these EKOL guns aren't coming with cleaning rods. So that just may be this batch, or maybe that's just the way they come, no cleaning rods. But I have enough cleaning rods lying around here from all my assorted guns that it doesn't really matter. So you have the flare adapter, which screws into the front. You can shoot flares out of this, and that's how we get around our Canadian replica laws. So for Canada, that helps us out here. And then also this tool here is for helping with the field stripping of reassembling this gun after you field strip it, and I'll show you that when I field strip it. Now if you haven't noticed, this gun looks a lot like a Beretta 92FS. Let's take a little bit of a walk around of this gun. Look at this side here. And this is where most of your mechanical controls are going to be. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, this rear safety really doesn't do anything, and I believe they've disabled it because you have a safety over here as well. So this is safe. That's semi-auto. And that's full auto. You also have the takedown lever here for when you're field stripping it. And you also have your slide catch release right here. And then lastly, your magazine release. We'll just keep that up for now. Take a look at the slide stop. Now this gun has been safety checked. Again, single action only. Now on the right side, there's not really a lot going on here. Again, if this was a safety, it would be ambidextrous because you have it on this side as well, but it's non-functioning over here. One thing I want to show you, I don't know if you can see it a little bit here. This gun is really nicely finished, but I did notice there was just some weird discoloration in the actual finish right there. Kind of bugs me, but for the most part this gun is actually really nicely finished. I don't know what happened there, but it's just a slight discoloration. Not a big deal. It's still a really well finished gun. Now on the top we have our basic sights, and there's no real markings or dots or white dots to help you with that, but again, this is a blank gun, so it's not necessarily something you need on a blank gun. And you'll also notice that the top of the barrel is open just like the regular 92FS's. Quite nice. Of course, it's a front firing gun, and it's a little hard for me to show you this, but what they do is they basically put a rod in these guns. This is such a tall gun, it's hard to do. But they put a rod in this gun that goes down the barrel vertically, and it just stops any type of projectile from coming out, but it still enables the powders and the flash to come out the front, which is nice. Of course, on the bottom, where your magazine goes. Alright, so let's get right into field stripping this gun. Now to do this, I usually put it in the full auto position here, put your takedown lever all the way down, and then give it a push from the other side, pop it out. Once you've done that, slide your slide back and up, and then usually it just comes right forward. A little bit sloppy there, but it did come off, no problem. So you have your slide, you have your spring, And your guide here, very nice, very heavy slide. You can see it's quite thick. There's a lot of weight to this gun. Alright, so there it is. And there's a little piece inside here, floating piece. Put that back in there. To reassemble this gun, put your spring guide and your spring in and just reassemble it in reverse order. Okay, and now this is where this little tool comes in handy. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this back a little bit, and you can see here, you just put your tool in, get it in there nice, and then you just put your slide all the way forward. There you go. You just got to make sure that this is open. Once that's open, you just essentially put this in, wait till it drops all the way in, and then you can pull your slide back, take that out, and you're good to go. You're all done. And it's back together. Now some of the features that I really like about this gun is that it's full auto, it's semi-auto and full auto. I really like the glossy finish of this gun. It has a nice weight. It's a really nice gun to handle. The Beretta 92FS is just a beautifully designed gun, and because it's a copy of the Beretta 92FS, it's just a nice gun. Now this gun worked really well for me. I shot 10 rounds in it. I shot 2 rounds in semi-auto, and then the last remaining 8 I did in full auto, and you can check that video out, the shooting video. Yeah, I forgot to mention that, but there's a shooting video of this gun, so I'll put the link in there now. But it had absolutely no problems. This gun performed beautifully, no problems with loading, ejecting, or anything, or any misfires. And as I mentioned, it is a very nice replica of a Beretta 92FS. A couple things that I didn't like as much were, I didn't like that this rear safety is non-functioning, but I can understand it because if you had the safety on here and the safety on here, you might get a little confused as to which one is actually on and off. Once you get to know this gun, it really shouldn't be a problem. Now you can get this almost identical gun. It's called the Ferret, and essentially it's the same gun without the full auto feature. So it just doesn't have this piece here. So you have everything else. The safety lever would actually work on the Ferret, and you wouldn't have this piece here. And really that's the only difference. And you can get both of these guns, the Jackal and the Ferret, in compact versions as well, which is just a slightly shorter version of the same gun. Now what I found though is the Jackal is definitely a much higher priced gun for the full auto feature. So having this feature does cost quite a bit more. Now for me, you know, why not? Spend a little bit more and then the videos look really cool when you're shooting in full auto. So for me it makes sense. For everyone else, I don't know. Do you need to have a full auto pistol? Maybe you don't. And lastly, one other thing I'm not really excited about is this plastic piece. It just it doesn't really make the gun. It's okay. I mean, it does the job, but I would like to see maybe a little bit nicer, heavier plastic. This just looks a little bit cheap on the bottom, and that's really the only part of the gun that I'd say is cheap about it. Everything else about this gun is really quite nice. Alright, well I want to thank you again for watching another replica airguns video, and stay tuned for my next EKOL video, which will be the EKOL Jackal. Take care.